So let's look at it in terms of our hips, our knees, our ankles, and our toes. So hips, when we're passing inside the foot, we really need to make sure that we get opened up. Having that flexibility allows us to use proper technique without changing the dynamics of the rest of our body. And I bet you on your dominant side, so for most of you, your right side, you'll be pretty good at opening up that hip. All right, but on the left side, your non-dominant side, you're really gonna have to concentrate, go slow, and think about that. It's gonna take some time for you to get the strength and stability to do that. But the longer you put it off, the more it just doesn't happen. All right, so hips, externally rotated, opened up. The next thing, if you look, as I come, there's a bend to my knee. All right, your knee has to bend if you're gonna strike the ball close to you. All right, if you keep it straight, it's way out there and it gets a little wonky. All right, it puts you off balance. All right, so that knee needs to get bent. The ankle, I'm sure you've heard it before, lock your ankle. It has to be a solid ankle, right? There can't be any floppiness in your foot, right? That's how we might receive it if we're trying to go with a soft receiving, but when we're striking the ball, it's gotta be a solid surface, and you want your toe pointed up, all right? So knee bent, toe pointed up with the ankle locked. And the last thing is your toes. This idea of like whenever we're passing, we have to be on your toes. All the other components are gonna fall through the cracks. All the other components are gonna fall through the cracks if you're not ready, if you're not on your toes. All right, so last two things. Where should the ball be when you strike it? It should be right next to your foot. And this is where a lot of people fall into problems, is they end up striking the ball when it's just slightly in front. When it's just slightly in front, you can usually do some movements to keep the ball down, but it gets harder and you certainly can't get all the power on it. And as you start to get into more advanced passing, which I actually mean shooting, like you need that power, you need that accuracy. And so you need the timing that allows the foot and the ball to be on the same plane, all right? And then the last thing is you want to come up through the ball. So if your foot starts behind and off the ground, with the knee bent, you come through and up, and then you might land on it, all right? Too many times I see players, they go through the ball and immediately down. It puts a lot of pressure on the knee, exposes you if you're to get tackled at that moment, lots and lots of problems. So let's see if we can start working on all those things. So with your partner, with your rebounder, with your wall, we're just gonna do two touch, same foot passing. Watch me real quick. So I'm just gonna go slow, stop it, get it right where I want it, and I'm following through and up. So we go nice and slow. Stop it, make sure it's set up right, take a step if you need to, pass. Stay on your toes, receive it. We're gonna go for 1 minute on your right, then we'll do 1 minute on your left. Go ahead and get started. Roger. The challenge, same idea, right? We're working the same techniques. It'll go a little faster now. So it's same foot, one touch. Make sure there should be a little hop between each one. Look at my foot. It's up, it's down, because I'm retiming for where I'm going to strike it. And if you don't do that step, you won't be able to get it right. It should be nice and close. The ball should be struck right next to your plant foot. Make sure your knee is bent and your foot comes up through the ball. Go ahead, 1 minute. Right foot. Same idea, one touch, but we'll alternate. Now something else that you should be doing, whatever you're passing, if you're passing to a person, they should have their hands down or their foot down. You should be aiming for that spot. If you're doing against a rebounder or a wall, pick a spot. If you have to, take a marker, make a spot, and challenge yourself to be hitting that spot each and every time, all right? So for I've got a little rebounder, and there's a cord. There's a support cord, and that's what I aim for every time. So now this one, we're gonna alternate. So it's left, right. So it just requires a little bit more footwork to get yourself set for your one touches. Still trying to make sure that you're opening up, follow through, and see if you can hit your target. So one touch, alternating right, left. Go ahead, 1 minute. All right, so that is our pretty much like our pure passing exercises. So if you're trying to get your passing better, you want your technique better, that's what you want to be doing. But we also want to be working on receiving, right? So that's what we'll be doing here. Now, obviously with receiving and passing, you're still working on your passing, but you're splitting your attention a little bit. So what we're going to do now is you're going to receive with the inside and bring it over to pass with your other foot. All right, so if I'm going to do it, I'll say I'll receive with my left foot inside, and then I just touch it over and I pass my right. So it's inside left, inside right. Receive with my left, pass with my right. Receive left, pass right. Now find the distance with your rebounder that works for you. Again, you need a soft touch so that it sets up your pass. If you find yourself having to run forward or run sideways to get your ball, then we're going to work on your first touch some more. So you want that first touch to set up your pass. You do this, like you can alter like the distance from your rebounder. You can also alter how hard you're hitting the ball. Ready, set, go. 1 minute. Good, all right. So we just changed now the way we receive it. So now instead of receiving with the inside of foot, you're gonna receive it with the sole of your foot. So it's just roll over, roll, roll and strike, roll and strike. Roll and try to get that roll so you're stepping right into it. Ready? Either foot you want to start with is fine. We'll switch directions after a minute. Go ahead. Roll, strike, roll, strike. All right. Let's try a little bit of a challenge. This one's a bit of a mental challenge because it's pattern passing over. So it's one touch, switch over to my right, right, one touch. Switch over to my left, left, one touch, over to my right. All right, let's change the technique up a little bit. This is one of my favorites. So we're gonna receive with the right foot, pass with the right foot. We're gonna do it with the outside of the right foot. And I like it because it forces you can't be square to the ball. You've actually gotta open and touch with the outside of the foot. So watch me. So I pass, I receive outside, outside, strike, outside, strike, outside, strike. So it's kind of like when we do pull laces, it's kind of like that, where you need that touch. Try 1 minute. Receive with the laces, step right into it and strike it. One more. Very important one too. So when we're playing the real game, you often don't want to receive facing the ball. All right, you often want to receive sideways onto the ball. So the ball could actually travel past one foot to your other foot. And that's what we're going to do with this one. So watch me a little bit. I'll try to do it slow here. So I'm going to pass. When I pass, you notice I'm going to go towards my pass. Then I'm going to reverse and I'm going to start coming backwards, sideways on. So I come in, I come out, and I let the ball run past me and I just move it forward. Then I stop it with my opposite foot and then I'll pull the same to get back to here. So it's pass, a little bit forward, I'm open here, pull it back, same, pass. So it's here, pull back. So open. So you'll end up actually facing the other way for just a second before you pull the same. And you use that second touch in your pull the same to set up your pass. So try it on one foot. Think about moving your feet when you receive it. Think about getting sideways on.